Picture this. Interior, classroom of Lutheran High School East. Students dressed in identical uniforms and sitting in their assigned seats. Benjamin Triplett, a history teacher in his late 20s, stands awkwardly at the front of the class, clicker in his hand, shifting through slides about World War I. He wears glasses, a burgundy button-down shirt, and black pants, and maintains a monotone voice. MAIN stands for militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. These are the 4 key elements that set off the events of World War I, initially called the Great War. The students show blank expressions, some tired from the night before, others bored from the content they are learning. One student taps a pencil rhythmically on the desk, which noticeably causes Mr. Triplett irritation. Whoever is pencil tapping, can you please stop it? The culprit, a tall boy with an afro, rolls his eyes as he slams down his pencil. Triplett continues. Nationalism means having extreme pride for one's own country. Citizens were willing to protect their homeland at all costs. We have seen this among the French. Triplett's monotonous voice is overpowered by muffled yells from outside of the classroom. At first, yells come from 2 distinct voices. Suddenly, there's a crash, like a body slamming against lockers, followed by scuffling. Yells increase as more students outside begin witnessing the action. The unknown students continue, eventually slamming against the door of Triplett's classroom. Triplett, growing red, rushes to the back of the classroom toward the door. Although panicked, he maintains his monotone voice with a slight elevation in pitch. Everyone stay in your seats. As Triplett slams the door behind him, the student closest to the door runs to it to watch the action, followed by 7 other students. Others break their necks and strain their eyes to see the action without actually getting up. Welcome to high school. Now, what I just described to you is a dramatic event that happened at a dramatic era in my life. High school. Based on a true story, I was sitting in history class when 2 brothers broke into a fight in the middle of the hallway. Are the details in the scene all accurate? Not necessarily. However, the added details create the essence of drama. Now, what is drama? While the scene I mentioned originated from a dramatic event, drama is not a fist fight you'll hear about at 5th period lunch. It is not the tea that you heard about your classmates cheating significant other or obtaining details from your coworker about what they did at last year's Christmas party. Drama is a composition in verse or prose intended to portray life or character or to tell a story, usually involving conflicts and emotions through actions and dialogue, and typically designed for theatrical performance. Dramas, in their many forms, are plays we watch on stage, the shows we watch on television, and the movies we see on the big screen. Micheline Landor refers to drama as a visual art, and all dramatics have a very powerful relationship to the visual, insofar as performance is seen and heard, and is literally visualized by its other participants. Just like any other piece of writing, scripts for dramas require elements necessary for the green light, the elements that a producer or director will look at and say, yes, I want this project. But what is considered good script writing, and how can such writing be improved? Tony Jordan, CEO of Red Planet Pictures, listed 5 major points to successful script writing. 1, story impact. What is the story about? How does the story make me feel? Interested and ready to keep reading, or bored and ready to close the script? In the scene I just laid out, the story was left on a cliffhanger. We don't know who is fighting or why. We don't know the aftermath, but we want to learn more. A good story impact will make you want to learn more. 2, character development. What motivates the characters presented in a work? What conflicts do they deal with? How do they evolve through the story? And how are they kept as entertaining individuals? My little snippet of a scene does not fully capture the essence of every character mentioned, but their short introductions begin to add to who these characters are. In this short scene, Mr. Triplet is motivated to complete his history lesson, but the conflict of a fight outside of his classroom hinders it. 3. Visualization. Can the scene as one reads it on paper be visually translated to fit the screen? In this case, yes. You picture a history classroom. You picture the bored faces and you hear the tapping of the pencil. You can hear the monotony of Triplet's voice, the yells, the scuffling, the slamming. You can picture the bodies crowding the window to see what's going on outside. I would like to add another factor of this visual, which is dialogue. While it is something heard and not seen, dialogue is vital to drama because it is an element of story and character building. The drama can make a scene, but the action can make a scene, but action cannot carry the entirety of the drama. 4. Audience connection. How closely can one relate to what is being written? Can an audience look at the story and the characters and immediately place themselves in their shoes? I think we all remember the glory days of high school. While we may not have all experienced a fight, we do remember what it felt like to sit in a history class. Teachers know what it feels like to simply want to get through a class period with little to no issues. Whether you've experienced one or all of these things, you find yourself relating to the scene. Lastly, message. What do you want your audience to learn? What is the overall point of the drama? The message received in this scene is high school is a mess. The message can also be that the role of the teacher is a challenging task when dealing with 14 to 18-year-olds. A drama can have many messages, but they, like the story itself, must have an impact. So congratulations! You've completed your script using the guidelines I mentioned. Now it's time for the fun part, editing and revising. This is where a little gem known as a script editor comes into play. Richard Hammond asserts that the script editor is an essential conduit in bringing a story from a simple concept to a fully fleshed out narrative. The role of the script editor is to make sure the correct judgment and measures are being taken place to ensure a quality project. Remember, there's no such thing as a perfect script. Take the advice of Scott Kirkpatrick. You can edit and revise for years and it will never please everyone. You have to make the executive decision for yourself that your script has been written to the best of your abilities and that it showcases your talents in the best light. If you think about it, our dramatic lives are dramas waiting to be written. Experiences turn into stories. The people we encounter become characters. All it takes is one confident soul to write about it. Are you ready to take your drama into the best-selling drama? Thank you.